CPA here. What's the deal with second draw, first draw? I thought this was all PPP 2.0. Well, you're right. There was a kind of a rollout of this and how it works. I don't think personally it was evident right off the bat, but go to sba.gov/PPP, which I have a link to in the body of this. Now, hang on. What is first draw? What is second draw? So this is all PPP second round. And then there's, if you didn't get PPP before or you want to reapply for more PPP1, hang on, that's first draw. If you already got PPP, then that's second draw, but it's all part of the second round of PPP. So we want to be mindful of the terminology. So if you never got PPP before, whether you applied and turned it down, whether you didn't apply at all, money ran out, whatever the case is, then when you go to sba.gov/PPP, it's going to pop up a nice little very clear menu. You're going to go into first draw, and you're going to follow all the rules of the first draw, which all follow the rules of the first draw. What was the first draw? Well, it was the first round. That's what we would know as PPP1. There is no gross receipts test for those that have not received PPP before. And that's where you will go, is into the first draw, and you'll fill out that application, which you will find right there when you log in. Now, for those that got PPP before, now you're looking at it and you're like, well, I didn't get enough in the sense that I didn't know that this could be included to then qualify. So for those of you that, in essence, have made it some kind of calculation error, if you will, that you didn't know you could include wages for the owners. You didn't know you could include in wages if you were self-employed, meaning you didn't include something when you went to go get PPP1, and it's now going to allow you to get more. You can reapply as long as you haven't achieved forgiveness on your PPP1. Now, hang on. Okay, there's a little aspect here. It's not a calculation error. It would be you didn't include expenses that you could the first go around. Now, hang on. Why would you do that versus getting second draw? Because what the SBA has indicated is that if you're going to get first draw and second draw, they have to be 90 days apart. Hang on. This all ends March 31st. So there's no way to get PPP first draw and second draw right now for the first time on either within that time frame, because that's within 90 days. Let me clarify. If you never got PPP ever, or you're going to reapply for more PPP1, which is it is not just can I get more. So you got to really listen. You're going to have to pick one or the other, because this is all within 90 days. You got to pick, do I get more PPP1 if I reapply? Most of you know. I never applied for PPP. Then you're going to go first draw, but you're not going to be able to then somehow hurry and get first draw, hurry and reapply and get more first draw, and then hurry and go get in second draw. Not going to be able to do that. You got to pick one or the other. So how do you pick? Simple. Have you gotten PPP before? Doesn't matter if it's forgiven or not. Did you get it? Okay, then you start looking at second draw, figure out how much you can get off second draw, if you will, if you qualify, right? You need the money is really the first thing. Second draw has it have to be a 25% reduction in gross receipts in any one quarter in 2020 versus the same quarter in 2019. Now with first draw, there's not that requirement. Now wait a second, JJ, what? I hear you, okay? Everything that's been going, that's out there right now, okay, it's all part of second round PPP. And what they've done is now you got two tunnels. Hey, they're saying, hey, you know what? If you've never applied for PPP in your life, you never got PPP. Let's make that more clear. You never got PPP. Everybody calls it PPP1, including me. Well, then you're going after first draw in the second round. You got PPP before? Well, then you're going to second draw. Doesn't matter if you got forgiveness or not, if you applied for forgiveness or not, you're going to second draw. But then you're like, well, JJ, but you said that we could go reapply for PPP1. The only way you would reapply for PPP1 would probably be, what I'm thinking is, that you don't qualify for PPP2 because you don't have a reduction in your gross receipts of 25% at least in any one quarter in 2020 versus 19. So then you go, well, maybe I should try and reapply for PPP1, which is the first draw. Well, you can, but only if you, in essence, didn't include expenses, qualified payroll expenses, when you went to apply. Nothing has changed with the calculation for either the Schedule C or the self-employed. Nothing has changed in terms of what gets included to determine your PPP loan. Now, if you're going to go reapply, you need to have not achieved or received forgiveness of PPP. So who doesn't get to do either thing? Well, if you already applied for PPP1, you got it, and there's no way you're going to get any more, and you don't have the reduction in gross receipts of at least 25% in any one quarter, 2020 versus the same quarter in 19, then you're not going to get either one. What if you're like, well, I could get more in PPP1, but I also could get PPP2? Then it's just simple. You're going to look at, well, which one is going to get you the higher amount, assuming that you need these funds. The forgiveness is the same for either one. The tax treatment is the same as either one, as in no tax treatment. All right, hey, you got more questions? Well, I'm doing this subject by subject in my PPP2 playlist, which there's a link to it, and I'm trying to break it out subject by subject. And here's the bottom line. Get with your banker if you're unsure and start asking them questions and figure it out, but apply sooner rather than later. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in. If you made it to here and you hadn't subscribed, you know you should. You made it to here. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me.